Alright guys, Avpl is back with another AVPL news. Now, I've got an apology to make. Myself and one of my admins, Luke, your dad's Obama, just now spent 20 minutes doing the cup draw, and my Skype recorder decided not to record the audio. So basically, we've done the draw, we've done the commentary, we've done it live. Unfortunately, I didn't have the audio recording. You could see on screen that I was recording it, which I've now clipped out. So what I'm showing you now is the cup draw. Basically, the FA Cup draw is going to consist of the BPL and the Championship. The AVPL Intertoto Cup is going to be all the other leagues in one cup. There's 32 teams in the FA Cup, there's 40 teams in the Intertoto, and the way it's going to work, guys, is all 40 teams are going to go into a straight 20 game draw. Then we're going to draw the numbers to see which teams play each other from that game. So basically, game 1 would play the winners of game 2 and so on. But to make it a little bit different, because obviously we're 40 teams, it's not an ideal number to have a knockout tournament, so we then go in to a group stage. The final 5 teams will go into the group stage. You'll all play each other once, then the top 2 will then play again for the final. Okay guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward the draw now, because there's no need to make this last 20 minutes now, and it doesn't really need to. So this is what you all wanted to see. You wanted to make sure that we're having cups. Unfortunately, we did do it live, but Luke was with me. He also has his own YouTube channel with a couple of his friends. Please check that out. The link will be in the description. They're helping out AVPL. They're doing videos. He does Goal of the Week. He's going to be doing other stuff for AVPL, plus all other stuff that he does. Check him out, guys. The link's in the description. So now I'm going to leave you with the draw in fast forward, and I will try to talk through the teams as they start coming into the draw. I'll just remind you that Cardiff and Derby are in bold, and that is because they're no longer in the tournament, guys, and we won't be able to include them, so anyone that comes up against them will get a bye into the next round. So let's get on with the draw. So this is going to be really tough because it's going to be really fast. So first up was Wolves, and they will be playing West Brom. And then it was Spurs out next, and they're going to be playing Burnley. And then next up was Chelsea, my team. We will be playing Arsenal. And then Manchester United, they will play Leeds United. Cardiff City up next will play Sunderland. Sunderland get a bye. They're automatically through to the next round, so well done to them. Then next out was Sheffield Wednesday will play Southampton. Then Derby County will play Liverpool. Liverpool will get a bye, so they are automatically through. Then it's Fulham versus QPR. And as you can see, we're now going on to the next part. It's Leicester versus Swansea. Then we have Newcastle versus Watford. And then we have... who did we have? I thought I'd messed up there. So it's Everton, who will play Birmingham. And then we have West Ham, who will play Hull. And then we've got Bolton, Tesbo's team, will play Stoke. And then Crystal Palace will play Charlton. And then Man City will play Bournemouth. And then finally Norwich City will play Aston Villa. Guys, all games will start next Wednesday at 8 PM. You will have a second game at 9, so you need to check out who your opponents will be that night at 9 PM. So good luck to you all. Now we're moving on to the Intertoto. Again, I'm going to try and do it as it's being drawn in fast forward. I had to type this one in for some reason. I couldn't find Celta Vigo versus Getafe. And then we have Napoli versus Atletico Madrid. And then we've got Mönchengladbach versus Inter Milan. And then we have Sampdoria versus Bayern Munich. Sevilla versus Ajaccio. Giesio, however you want to pronounce it. Then Torino versus Wolfsburg. And then we had Lille versus Leverkusen. And then we've got Valencia versus Fiorentina. Malaga versus Borussia Dortmund. And then we have Werder Bremen versus St Etienne. Stade de Reims versus PSG. Nantes versus Real Madrid. And then we have Genoa versus Marseille. And then we're going on to Frankfurt versus Juve. Lazio versus Milan. Serie A derby. Levante versus Roma. And then we go to Barcelona versus Schalke. And then it's Nice versus Monaco. Hoffenheim versus Bastia. And then finally Augsburg versus Bilbao. And now to determine who will play who at the 9 o'clock games, basically we're going to just draw it the numbers 1 to 20, home then away, and that will be the winning team you play against. So it's 18 versus 4, 16 versus 20, 14 versus 5, and then we have 17 versus 10, 9 versus 19, then 11 versus 6, and then we have 3 versus 8, then 13 versus 1, number 12 versus number 7, and then finally number 15 versus number 2. Now guys, obviously it is the winners of each game will play each other for the 9 o'clock game. The 5 remaining teams will then go into the group stage, guys, and then we'll work out the fixtures for them. Everybody will play each other once. Good luck to you all in the cups. Any defaults will mean you're out of the cup, and we'll go from there, guys. So that is the end of the draw, and now I'm just going to move on and talk about a few other things that I wanted to talk about, and hopefully give you a little bit more information. So as you can see, we are now on the FIFA website. Damien, the CEO for this website, produces all our stats for us. There's a lot of other things, extra additional information coming further down the pipeline, but for now we have all we need, which is the fixtures and the league tables for all our current leagues that we are running. Now Damien is also going to be running a interactive single player tournament. You must be a premium member to enter the tournament, but there is big cash prizes, guys. If there is enough entrants, we're looking at 300 entrants. You could win as much as £1,000 for being the overall winner of the interactive one player cup. Now please hit up this website, the link's in the description. Sign up. It is £3.95 a month, but you do get a lot of additional extras for that. But for now, let's move on, and so I can show you the league tables. So first up in the Premier League, there you can see Liverpool are sitting top of the league. Sunderland are sitting bottom, but I want to give a special mention to the Sunderland manager, Rab. He has stuck with this. I know, and I'm aware that he's had a lot of problems, but he is still there. He's lost 5 games. They've only scored 1 goal, but he's still there. And Rab, we just want to say thank you from all of the admin team for sticking with it, mate. You don't realise how much we appreciate managers like you. But well done to Airhead, or Al, R9 Fowler now as he is, or RF Fowler. They're top of the league. My team Chelsea are currently sitting 8th. We had a poor start, but we've only lost 1. So we will still keep in contention, and hopefully we can have a better weekend this weekend. Now moving on to the Championship. We've had a few problems with managers in the Championship. We had a great season with managers last year. We've had a few letdowns this year, and we have decided to cut 2 teams because they've got to the situation where they've played 5, lost 5. There you can see it there. Neither have scored a goal, both conceded 5 goals, and that's just not fair to any new managers. So because it will leave us with 10 teams, we've decided that they will be removed. This is why the teams that played them in the cup got a bye. So now you know. Well done to Stoke, top of the league, very well done. Birmingham, who now have a new manager. Unbelievably, the manager stepped down after skitting his team to second place after the first weekend. But that's the way it goes. Somebody's picked up a good spot, and he's done very well. Bit surprised at Charlton's position at the moment, but I'm sure they will pick up. Now moving on to League 1. And again, we've had a problem with managers in there. This is a very unsettled league at the moment. We're hoping things will settle down and, you know, get the games played. As you can see there, Nice have only played 2 games. We've had problems with them. But as you can see, though, guys, we've not given defaults for these games. They will be rescheduled. And for now, they were just postponed and no defaults were given out. But we're looking to make sure we can make this league continue and be as stable as possible. And there you can see that is Luke replying to me because I've just told him that my Skype recorder didn't record the cup draw. Unbelievable. Now moving on, we're now going to move on to the Bundesliga. And again, this is quite a stable league, but there's a couple of teams that are letting us down at the minute. Hopefully we can get that resolved and have a very good season in this Division 2. Probs to Wolfsburg, sitting top of the league, won 4 out of 5, only losing 1. Leverkusen propping up the table at the moment. But again, obviously you can see there's teams that have played less, and they will have their games rescheduled as well. And now we're moving on, and we will move on to Serie A. So league tables for Serie A, again, we've had a few problems in there, but as you can see, there is only really 2 teams that have not played all their games. Well done to Juve, sitting top of the league, unbeaten after the first weekend. Roma are also unbeaten, but they drawn 2, and Napoli are sitting in second place. Torino, unfortunately, are propping up the table, but they did manage to get themselves a draw. And now finally, we move on to the Liga BBVA. And this is where there's quite a few teams that are reasonably strong in here. Barcelona, Real Madrid obviously are very strong. And this table's taking a little bit longer to refresh. But you've got Valencia causing problems in there as well. So props to Valencia for making it an interesting competitive league. So well done to all you. Obviously Barcelona top, Valencia in second, Real Madrid in third. Malaga unfortunately are propping up the table, but they have only played 3 games and they have 2 games in hand. So hopefully, guys, we can have a much better weekend. Get all the games played this weekend, because that's what we want to do. We want to get the games played. We don't want to be giving out defaults, and hopefully that is what we can do. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to move on to Team of the Week. Right, lads, I've decided to get Luke back on with me because it was a problem with my Skype recorder, and what it was it needed updating because it wouldn't record the new version of Skype. So my bad, apologies for that. So I've got Luke back on, and he is going to talk you through, while I flash the visuals on screen, of this week's Team of the Week. So where you go, Luke.
Oh, we've got BPL first up then. In goals, we've got the Liverpool player Elwyn Hart. So there's a few Liverpool players in this team of the week. Had a good start to the season.
Yeah.
We've got Cookson in right back for West Brom, with Calinio in centre back as well. Actually, the whole defence is really West Brom, with 3 defenders, with Eugene Mail in there as well. Limehouse carrying off as he did last season with a left back in form, with the CDMs as Rebecca Davis and Little Legs, and the 2 cams, Milhav and Millwall. With the two strikers, RF9 Fowler and Stimo. Stimo scoring 10 goals in his first week. Special mention
Yeah,
to that.
well done, Stimo, to that. Well done.
With the bench, we got it's Matty, Mr. Velvet Blue, Alaba in his first season in AVPL, Spedder, Hot Too Quick, and DJ Tiddis with Shane Tribune strike as well. A decent first week for everyone.
Yeah, well played, lads. Very well played. And
Move on.
Next up,
Onto the championship. In goals, it's Tumnus. With the defence, we have two left backs, because why not? And with Bobby Boy and Oso Holy, and the two centre backs, Tesbo and Tajaj Ruzic, I think it's pronounced. Probably just butchered his name.
that's easy for you to say.
And the centre mids is Pooper Scooper, Callum Kemp, and I Blaziness, with the Cam as Gov. It's such a short name.
Yeah.
With Luke Miller and Mark Williamson, I think he's up strike. Now goalkeeper is Casillas on the bench, with the two defenders, Big Bop and Callum Green. The two centre mids, Controlum ZH and Jaws, and the two strikers, Jack CFC and O Bailey Tenner.
Well done to you guys. Next
On
up,
to Bundesliga, we got Woodsy in goal, with the defence featuring Human Sung, Minstrels, Afro Dude, and Chirpy Wizard. With the midfield, Corey Ladd decided to go to Galatasaray for the week. Oliver and Sean 420 Wolves. With the attackers then, I Dainsy, Gustaras, and Emac 89. Special mention to him being Nicholas Bentner. With the goalkeeper, AVPL Fusions, iJam, RFC Walker, King Sewell, Hero Caps, X Young Fred, Banksy, NFFC. Special mention to all of them in the Bundesliga there.
yeah, well done to you lads as well. Next up,
Liga BBA, a few newcomers to this season.
Yep.
We've got Aberdeen fan in goals, Tidy Tomo in right back, LM Nathan and JC both in centre back, PRM Pod in left back, Fernley, Swan and Gemma Lind all in the centre mids, with Captain Mac who's a top point scorer in the BBA that week in Cam, with the two strikers Big Boy Shanky and Sadiq 98. We move on to the bench with Oscar Denstor, Jamesy, Royal Blood, Eddie UK, Paytime, Crazy 57 and Hitux all on the bench.
and just before we move on, just well done to them. But as you can see, lads, it is dominated by Barcelona and Real Madrid. But that does mean that somebody else will get a chance this week because they can't be in the starting 11 2 weeks running.
Definitely some Valencia players I see getting in there next week.
Yeah, definitely, I can see that as well. So then finally we have
Ligue 1.
Ligue 1.
We still got Serie A as well.
Yeah, that as well. My bad.
In goal, we have O Brothers from Marseille. And then defence, a real mix of people there with Darren, Mr. Sacco, Little L4 Wireless, I think is his name. And Polo Freeze. With the centre mids is DTMN, Carwin and Smithster. Reckless Breaker, who I think was a top point scorer in the league in that week. Only Afroman and Majestic Goldfish. On the bench, we got Andy McVeigh, DGP, Epic Roller, Akero, All-Star Zoka, Mark Byrne, and Darren WP95. Well done to all them.
Yeah, well done, lads. And look, I just want to say thanks to Luke because Luke is the one that put all the cards together, and I think Tesla helped you out with some Serie A cards, did you?
Yeah, and Paddy Power also helped me with the League of BBA.
Yes, so well done to you guys. Obviously, this is a job that I can't really afford to get involved with because of making videos and obviously sorting out other stuff. So, you know, it really does help me out. These guys help me out with doing these cards and posting these up. So well done to my admin team for that. Well done to you, Luke. Thanks very much.
Serie A team of the week.
Yeah, go on and do that.
In goals for Lazio, I love my bricks. And then defence dominated by Roma with SR Marcelo, TBT Reaps, the Cami Boy and Caution UK. In CDM, Dylan I on his first season AVPL as well. And the other three centre mids is Flowsy, Leggett Crazy Levi, Dante 15, and the two strikers with Harris and UFC Legends, Blanchy 2K9. On the bench, we got Waggy, PFC, Mark Fleming, Tom Donovan, Joey LTFC, Turkish Virus, CT and C. I'd also actually like to add something with the nationality pick. They'll be coming soon as we're picking new teams to add nationalities right now.
Yeah, what we're doing, guys, is we're going to increase the amount of national teams, and we are going to wipe all the rosters and start fresh. So well done to all you. You will all be contacted at a later date to ask which nationality you would like to play in. Anyway, guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the first AVPL news. Thanks to Luke for helping out, and like I said, thanks for helping doing the cards.
No problem.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.